Hello and welcome back to Everybody Loves Raiken, our 5th edition live play that meets every Tuesday night. Last time, the party was riding along happily in the Mendes family wagon through the Feywild, learning about magic, when suddenly the wagon shifted violently, and there was a large crash. The whole party ran downstairs to find that the breakfast that Mama Mendes had been preparing was ruined and tossed all over the kitchen by the wagon crashing, and it was by this mechanism that they learned that the entire night and into the next morning had passed in the course of what felt to them like a bare couple hours. They went out, less Leah, to see what had happened, and as it turned out, Papa Mendes had unfortunately driven one of the wheels of the wagon into what he described as a dire gopher hole. He got all of the cousins out there to lift the wagon up together with, roughly 20 people. This can be done. Becomes a very doable task. But the party used some magic to ease the burden and make sure that the solution would stick by laying down some stone and then pushing that stone under the wheels as the family got the wagon lifted. Unfortunately, about the time they got the wheel out of the hole and they started magicking the rock, something reached up and grabbed the legs of Tatsuya, dragging him into the dire gopher hole. And it turned out it was not a dire gopher. The party is now locked in combat with these strange insectoid creatures, with the party split between down in the hole and above the hole. Lara Mendes had tried to hand the rope winder to Yukikaze, but simply threw it on the ground because time was of the essence, and Yukikaze missed catching it as it tumbled down the hole after him. It's been a whole kind of fiasco, and just as things seem like they're kind of leveling out, as the bug creatures seem to be falling in good number, something new has appeared above and informed Jebel that a Fey Lord of some kind wishes to see these people, and that he will take them to his master by force. So a fight has broken out above ground as well. The important notes are that, Leah, you're invisible until the start of your next turn. You teleported away with Misty Escape. I believe it is Vendar and Yukikaze. Yes, I'm staring at it going, that is what that means. Have haste cast upon them. So you each are able to make an extra single attack with a hasted action, or activate an item, or any of these other things. You have double move speed. Do remember that you can only use your sneak attack once per turn, so you have to pick which of these two attacks you're going to use it on, Vendar.
Yeah.
And also, don't forget you have an extra 2 AC roll to effect.
Right! You both have an extra 2 AC because of your speediness.
And
As a rogue, I currently have 21 AC.
Yeah, that's, gross.
That's what happens when I shield.
Probably.
And I am
Tatsuya doesn't even have that.
I'm on the ground still from
Yes.
falling. I got landed on.
You got landed on, so you haven't been able to get back up yet. But it looks like Vendar isn't on you anymore, so it is now your turn, Yukikaze. Directly to the left of you, there is this strange gnome-like creature with a red shirt and a red hat and iron boots and a wicked-looking two-handed weapon that seems to be screaming for blood and violence. Both of these...
I thought it was mushroom-looking.
They were mushrooms. The mushrooms grew into these gnome-like creatures. Which is not to say that they are gnomes, but they are gnome-like size and body shape. They're kind of hunched over, though, like hunched-up gnomes.
Mendes has been talking to them.
And
In
yes,
a language that I think only Jebel knows.
yeah, most people here don't speak Sylvan, so you don't know what's being said unless you speak Sylvan.
Oh, Leah, I think, speaks it? I don't know.
If Leah had 5 lessons from you in Sylvan, then she would be able to roll at a DC 20 to get the gist of what's being said.
I wasn't sure if the Switch and Patron had included a change in the language.
You know, actually, she and I still need to talk about that.
Yeah, we had a short discussion about it, but we never came to a conclusion.
Yeah,
okay.
we gotta... we keep forgetting. We'll sit down and talk about it
conversation should be had sooner.
someday.
But, yeah.
Probably. Maybe even tomorrow. Who knows?
I also want to say, this could still be a
Could be a
dire
Wednesday.
gopher burrow, just with the dire gopher gone.
It could have been a diary.
We don't know.
Who knows? Who can say? So, Malachi, it is your turn. You are prone. You are hasted, so you have double movement, which just means that standing up costs even more movement.
Or still has even more left.
Yes. And that thing to your left is alive, and then there's another thing south of Tatsuya that's alive, and everything else nearby you seems to be dead, so you could move and attack as you like. Seems. What would you like to do? Would you like to stand up?
I'm double checking something real quick. Sorry, just 1 second.
Oh, I did forget to announce. I was telling myself I need to remember to announce this as part of the recap, but I totally forgot to just now.
Go ahead, real
10
quick.
minutes ago. Another unusual thing that happened in the course of last week's combat was that once Yukikaze got down into the hole to help Tatsuya, who had been pulled down, Tatsuya, you saw that the weird new dark scales around his eye that appeared in the swamp, looking like a scar, glowed with a, and I guess Laramendes would have seen this too, glowed with a holy light, a divine light, and he was able to perform lay on hands to give you 20 HP. You were below bloody, I think.
I'm still below bloody, but yes, I do remember last session. Yeah, I remember that.
Because you had said, I didn't know you were a paladin, and he just goes,
Yes.
Surprise?
Surprise, yeah. Surprise, even though he's still not a paladin.
Alright, did you find what you're looking for, Mel?
Yeah, well, why is it? I don't know why the shield says +1 AC while equipped. Oh.
Because normally shields give +2 AC, this one gives +3 AC.
Yeah, but I have to draw it or have it in my hand, right?
Yeah. It doesn't do anything until it's equipped. It takes an action to put a shield on that isn't equipped.
Okay. Alright, so... No, I was just trying to remember what my AC was without, so I can make sure I keep
it's whatever your full equipment is minus 3.
Yeah, alright. So, well, so it's that with, okay. So I'm gonna get up, and since there's not too many enemies and they seem squishy, or at least some of them do,
Yeah.
I'm going to draw Silver Fang and Key.
Okay. Because of dual wielder, you can do that.
Yep. And then I'm gonna swing at the thing next to me.
Alrighty.
I just wanted to confirm my AC. Sorry it took so long.
Alright, do you want to use any maneuvers?
No.
Alright, swing away.
So, don't know how much. Or how much we fight yet. It's dark. I don't know what's down here. Well, it's not dark, it's
It is not dark. You are standing next to a light bulb.
That's right. Oh, wow. Apparently, I still think it's dark.
Your eyes are closed.
Actually, though, it is quite a bit, so... 20... First one is 21 to hit.
21 will hit Laramentis.
No, I'm not gonna hit him.
You said the thing next to me.
A 21 will hit.
Alright, and that's 12 magical slashing.
12 magical slashing. Alright. Got nothing special there, so 12 magical slashing. What next?
Next hit is 15 to hit.
A 15 will hit.
Alright, and that will be 11 magical slashing.
11 magical slashing.
Oh, piercing, magical piercing.
Magical. Your key is in your main hand, not Silverfang? Isn't Silverfang a +2 sword?
That's right. I forgot. Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, then offhand.
Yeah.
That's right. So yes, magical slasher.
Okay.
Getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, no, it seems like it should be like on hand, offhand, but it's not.
Yeah. Alright, third attack with Silverfang is 18.
18 will hit.
And that will be 10 magical slashing.
10 magical slashing. Thing is looking really bad.
And then for my last attack with key will be 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
And that'll be 9 magical piercing.
9 magical piercing. Okay. Wow. That was quite the freaking barrage. You just went to town on this little guy. And he is barely still on his feet, but he is still on his feet. There's just blood pouring off of him from all the wounds you've just opened up, and his, he seems to be even, more agitated since you've done this.
Alright, so...
I got your hasted action.
Oh yeah, you do have a hasted action, which can be used to make a single attack.
Yeah, okay.
Or it can be used to... Probably that's the best use of it, honestly.
Yeah, so it's pretty much that or disengage.
And just finish it off.
23 to hit.
23 to hit. That'll hit.
That'll be 10 magical slashing.
Wow. Okay, yeah. You got up and you just went ape shit on this guy. As you, lay into him with your final strike, he suddenly seems to curl in on himself, and then throws his arms out wide, going, "Aah!" And then he just poofs in this fiery explosion in front of you, and you just see his red shirt and his hat drifting down, charred and torn, as they kind of just land atop his iron boots that are sitting in the loam.
And you can still move.
Yes, I was waiting for Tristan to finish.
Yeah, you can still move.
I see Laramentis right there, and that's a narrow passage just beyond him, right?
It's not like it's more like just the wall up there. That passage was just the up thing. I had thought about doing it like from the side, and I'm like, no, that's terrible. Don't do it from the side. Just do this. So the whole area looks like this. That passage there doesn't exist, though. That's just to represent the tunnel that comes down from the ceiling.
Oh, so the square is sorry. Where's the, so it's just a room then?
Yeah, it's just, I'll just...
Because I don't want to be underneath the hole in case someone else decides to come in, and I want to...
currently underneath the hole.
You're underneath the hole right now.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to be. So I'm trying to decide where I want to go. So I need imagery of the room so I can move.
Yeah, it just sort of looks like that. So a little nipple.
Well, is there much space around that around this, or? Because if I don't want to step in the way of Mr. Goofire, oh, he should be able to shoot around me. I have faith in him.
He's got sharpshooter. You know that he can shoot around you.
Yeah, if you're blocking 90% of him, I can shoot through your legs.
Oh, maybe that doesn't also give him cover and stuff. I'll help him out. We'll get up there. So I'll step upwards so I can assist Laramendus later and not be directly underneath the hull, and that'll on my turn.
Okay. Leah! Your invisibility ends.
Yeah. And in
You're
the corner.
still flying. Or you still can fly, whatever you want to do. Remember that your speed is halved.
Why?
You told me your speed was halved from exhaustion.
Oh yeah, yes, exhaustion. That's it. You're right.
Okay.
I forgot. Yeah, no, that was but that was on me. All
right.
I'm gonna Eldritch Blast.
All right, Eldritch Blast to you. Who are you going to Eldritch Blast? One of these buggies? That guy?
How was it about targeting people that was next to other people? What was the rule about that again?
I mean, do you have Spell Sniper?
No.
Then, if you wanted to target the little gnome guy up by Laramendus is providing cover, so he would have bonuses to AC against your attack.
Yeah, but I mean, like, when an enemy is next to a friendly target, because there's two enemies that can hit, like Vendar, for example. There's one right next to Vendar.
Yeah, that's not an issue in 5th edition.
Oh, okay.
Firing into melee was only a thing in 3.5. Maybe in 4th edition, but I don't remember. I don't think so.
Gotcha.
In 3.5, it imposed a -4.
Okay. But I know that shooting point blank is bad, right?
If you shoot a target right next to you, you have disadvantage.
Yes, okay. Then I'm going to target the one next to Vendar.
Okay.
Rolling dice. That's kind of the point of this game.
It is a not insignificant part of the game.
Oh. I'm using a weird die. I couldn't read the number, and then I turned it around. It's not a number, it's a bell, because it's 20.
Sounds like a crit.
Yeah.
Ding, ding.
Okay, so it's a 4 and a 5. So that's 9 plus... Well, what's my plus again? It was a 7? Let's see. And there's plus...
damage,
yes.
yeah.
So... 16.
16 points of damage on number. Probably useful. Oh, goodness. Maybe. Oh. With that. 16 damage. Okay, that's a good hit. It is very hurt. Oop, bloodied.
Okay, and another Eldritch Blast flies his way.
Alright. You point and another spark of energy crackles across the room.
Well, this is a good die. I might continue using this die. There was a 19 on the die, so 19 plus 12, so it's a lot.
You hit very much. You very hit. Spell crackles across the room and into the thing.
I'm gonna have to roll that one again because I accidentally turned it before I looked at it and didn't know what it landed on.
Force damage. Nothing is hexed, so...
What is that, a gopher with a hat? I guess that is a 10. Yeah. These dice are weird. Why does these dice have pictures on them? Okay.
People like it when the highest number has a picture.
Yeah, I know. So that's 17 for the second.
17. Okay, well, this thing had come over to menace you, Vendar, and then its head explodes.
Nice.
Then I come to fire the last blast at.
Yes, the one over here surrounded by death is Tatsuya, but there is one alive next to him.
I can handle that one. I come to fire one of the two that I escaped from.
Okay.
The bottom one.
Bottom one, number 5. Echo. Alright, roll it.
Okay. That was a 5 on die, so.
You hit.
Oh, okay. 5 plus 7, but you already did the math apparently.
Oh, it's 5 plus 12.
Yeah, you're right. It's plus 12.
So you hit. It's got 15 AC.
so I only need the 3 on die. Now it's 5 plus 7.
Okay, 12 damage. Pew! Alright. Another crackling bolt of energy speeds across the room and strikes the bug-like creature. It hisses in pain. Anything else for your turn? Would you like to move, fly, dance, say mean things?
How high up is it to the ceiling?
It's like 10 feet. It's not high.
Oh. Well then, I'm just gonna stand there.
Okay. It's a low little, like, it's like a little burrow that's been dug out. It's barely more than it needs to be. Alright, after Leah is Jebel! Jebel, you've been dealing with a guy with a rope.
Dealing with this asshole.
He popped up out of the ground next to you after apparently burrowing his way over to you. And, cracked you in the face with a two-handed weapon, I think.
Yeah, I think it did.
Did a lot of damage. It was like 21 damage too, wasn't it?
Yeah, that thing is pretty mean.
Yes. Sons of a bitch. Let me just check something here.
So called you small.
I think you're just making that up.
I don't know. I heard it.
Jesus.
I call him small. You should prove him wrong and turn into something real big. Make him feel small.
He's still beside me, right?
Yep. According to my map, he is. Yeah, so he had a great club that he cracked you with.
And he said he wanted to take us to
His master? He was very vague.
Alright.
I believe he only ever used the term his master.
Am I holding on to the... I tied the rope around the...
A part of the wagon.
And then it's down the hole now, is
You
it?
dropped it, so it should have slid at least part of the way down the hole. Depending on if you just dropped the whole coil, it's probably heavy enough to have dragged itself, down the bends and plopped down where your friends are, yeah.
Okay. In that case, I can focus on him. And I'm going to turn to him and just say, "Who's your master?" Also, ow.
He just, sneers up at you with this unfriendly grin and says, "He will introduce himself when you meet her."
Wait, is he shorter than me?
He is small, so he is roughly the same size as you.
Which direction were we heading?
To the east.
So
also say, well, we're heading this way. Is that where your master is?
No. We must head back that way, and he thumbs over his shoulder to the northwest. Come along.
Well, we're kind of busy at the moment.
That's fine. I can make you come along. Are you doing anything actions-wise?
Yes.
Now that you've had the wittiest of banters with this.
I am trying to decide. Where is that? Okay, I'm casting a spell.
Oh dear. Casting a spell. Let's see. They might have something to say about that. I'm not sure. Give me a sec. Do they have anything to say about that? No. No, they don't. Okay, you may cast your spell.
Wisdom saving throw.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Wisdom saving throw. That is wisdom. A 16.
Fails. I want to guess.
Did you turn it into a frog?
No, not a frog.
A crab.
Crab.
Right.
Why you gotta be turning all my guys into crabs? Where did I stick?
They're easy enough to keep track of.
I don't think. Oh, there it is. Bop. His sneer suddenly disappears in a puff of white smoke as he is replaced. The little crab goes tuck into the short grasses next to you.
Okay. I don't think I could really do much else.
Hey. No, doesn't seem like he had any way of...
Can I, like, move him?
I mean, I guess you could pick him up as a grapple. Let me pull up the stats of a crab. Yeah, that seems correct. Okay, so roll an athletics test. Roll your athletics skill, and he will roll athletics. He will roll acrobatics.
And he might beat me within the realm of possibility.
Huh?
I got an 8.
He got a 9!
Yeah.
So you reach down to pick up the crab, and it scuttles back and forth, and you can't seem to you like your fingers like slip off of its slippery shell as it like snips at you with its snippers. It misses too, but like you can't manage to get a hold of this thing.
Be that way.
You only have one. Well, I mean, I guess that's technically an attack, so I shouldn't have let you do it, but it's fine. I'll let it go for now. You would have had to have made an attack to do that, so we'll remember in the future. So you poof him into a crab, try to pick him up, and it doesn't work. Anything
That's
else?
not bad.
Moving, saying anything?
They've already said stuff, so.
You have. Okay, so you can call it.
Yeah.
Okay, Lero Mendis.
Okay.
This
I
one of the little
do-
guys with the spiky boots that tried to kick you, kapoofed into just a shirt and a hat and a boots. The other one is still there and chittering at you in Sylvan. And you hear a thump behind you, and looking back, you see a coil of rope hits the dirt where Yukikaze used to be.
Okay. This is the one that flew at my face, which I don't particularly care for. I think I am going to. I think I'm gonna Misty Step.
You're gonna
'Cause
Misty Step.
I don't want to.
Alright,
get
well,
hit.
here's the room. Where do you Misty
I would
Step?
like to be one west of Tatsuya.
One west of Tatsuya.
Oh no, I don't want to be there because that's still adjacent to an enemy. I want to be 2 east of Tatsuya.
2 east of Tatsuya. But that puts you adjacent to Vendar, and isn't that the same?
Given recent occurrences, a little bit.
I just kind of...
Just waiting to get mind control, I guess.
I love that you're using a level 2 spell slot to move 10 feet. That's just... amazing. I wish I could select this line and delete it.
Then I am going to cast a spell.
What? No way. Who
Or well, I
would've
guess
guessed?
I cast a spell before, so I should have said that I was casting a spell beforehand. In case anything that is still nearby could counterspell me.
Oh my
So
gosh.
anything that could counterspell me now would know that I am casting a cantrip.
Sitting here going, why is stuff not being erased? When I say erase, it's because there was no fill on the rectangle I was using. It was just erasing, like, the lines, like the pixels where the lines crossed. Give me just a moment. I don't think any of them can stop you, but I should double check. You know, that's kind of my job. And you know
I don't think I had been stopped from anything here from casting a spell beforehand.
the best laid plans of Lair and his friends. Let's see. These things. No. Oh. Forgetting that. This thing. Oh. This guy doesn't care. Okay, yeah, no, nothing stops you. You teleport. Then what?
Okay, cool. I am going to cast Ray of Frost this time, because I think last time it was Chill Touch. I am going to target the thing what tried to boot me in the face.
But it's friend-shaped.
I mean, I don't think, like, I tried convincing it to go after the bug blood, and then it, not so kindly, decided it wanted my blood instead. That is a 26 on its AC.
A 26 on it. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Okay.
Barely, but it hits.
That is going to be 14 cold damage, and it is slowed by 10 feet until the start of my next turn.
Well,
is
that's
what I
just
started my
rude.
turn.
What if I wanted to move?
Then he could still move, just
But what if I wanted to move more? 14
and
is a lot.
that's going to be harder.
You did a lot of damage with a cantrip. Damage.
14? Yeah.
Very good. Okay, so
And fives and
this
4.
guy. Oops, that's not what I want to do. You. Oh wow, you guys do see it when I open these menus. That'll be slowed by 10 feet.
Okay.
Alright, anything else, Mr. Laramendi?
No. That is my turn.
That. Alright, there's your new light zone. Means
Yeah,
those
there is
guys-
light beyond that, but that's the bright light.
It's 40/40? No, 20/20. Yeah, that's
it's
correct.
20/20.
Yes, correct. The bright light is what I care about. Light is what everybody cares about. Everybody. And
I mean, the
their mums.
the characters probably
Their-
care about there being some dim
their
light. Because,
Alright.
like, you can see a little bit in dim light.
Not everybody.
I mean, in
I
general,
mean, I'd be
like,
weirded out if it was hard light and then sudden blackness.
one out of 7. 6 out of 7 people care about that bright light. Alright. Beginning round, Cyrus.
Was I able to see what transpired with Jubble?
Yes, your
And,
head was, I think, like,
I think so too, but I wasn't certain, so I wanted to double check.
Or maybe your feet were coming back. I think that you heard what happened. What language did I tell you he spoke in last time, Jebel? Do you remember?
Sylvan.
Yeah,
right?
it was Sylvan because I can speak Sylvan.
Right, okay. Yes. I was just surprised because the thing also speaks Gnomish. I'm like, why didn't they have it do that? Monsters don't usually speak that many languages. Oh, what are you doing? I'm not letting you.
Okay, well,
I'm not letting you mess me up. No. There we go. Like, the program was trying to crash. Okay, so, Cyrus, you are, I believe, backing up out of this hole since you flew down... Or, had you flown down feet first? And that was why, yeah, you flew down feet first, which is why you can only cast on the people directly below you. Which is why you did what you did with the haste. So, yes, your head is up now. So, yeah, you see this crab. You know that he just got poofed into a crab.
Alright. Then, I'll ask Jubble, you got this?
for now anyway.
Don't like the lack of confidence in that answer, so I'm gonna, come up.
You see him fumbling like with a crab.
Just like struggling, trying to pick it up, and it's just dancing around his hands.
Well, there's nothing I can do about that, because I can't, like, this. So I guess, if I were to prepare to attack, could I, upon it, trigger an action, choose to attack or grapple, since grappling is an attack? Or I need to specify ahead of time?
You need to specify ahead of time.
Alright.
Are you swinging your sword or grabbing the dude?
Then if I'll go over next to it. If it tries to make a break for it, I'll grab it. Try to, anyways.
So we'll just move you here.
Have the crap between me and Jubble.
Alright, you float your ass over there. You prepare to grab this thing if it tries to leave.
I would prepare an attack, but the only thing I can do is a sword, because everything else would be a spell.
Yeah, and then you destroy its 1 HP, and it would be back to being a pain in the ass.
Yeah, and I'd have to lose concentration. So
Yeah,
I would be doing it, as prepared action. Fun.
Preparing a spell
Nice.
means you're
I'm done.
concentrating on it. So haste would drop, and then those two would lose their turn.
Do it.
No.
Alright,
The
so...
crab turns to you and gives you a pleading look, telling you to do it.
I guess I'll say, I'll grab it if I have to, but I'd rather not.
I need Cyrus to make a dexterity saving throw.
Joy. Alright. That's what my save is. Let's roll some dice. Well, this should be fun. 6.
6. Ooh. Alright, so at the last moment, you notice that there is a wind of dark woven rope snaking its way along the ground as it quickly lashes up and grapples you. While you are grappled by this living rope, you are restrained, which means that you have... So you are grappled and restrained. If you want to add those conditions to your character, you can read them yourself. But the short of it is that your speed is 0, and the condition ends if you get free, and restrained is that you can't benefit from any bonuses to your speed, your attack rolls, any attacks against you have advantage, and your attacks have disadvantage, and you have disadvantage on dexterity saving throws.
Fun.
And then the crowd is going to start scuttling away.
Alright. Does any part of that prevent me from trying to grab it anyways?
It doesn't seem like it prevents you, it just makes it harder, so... What you got?
How does a 1 sound?
I mean, great to the crab. It rolled a whopping 6, which I thought it was going to be done for.
Well, had I not had disadvantage, I would have at least tied it.
Alright, so it moves an amazing, impeccable, very fast 20 feet. Which is all it can do because it has been turned into a crab. So, that means it now becomes Vendar's turn.
Can Jebel make a reaction? I guess it would only be to attack it.
I mean, I will ask Jebel, but I'm pretty sure I know his answer. Jebel, would you like to make an attack of opportunity against the crab that's running away?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
You can't make a grab of opportunity.
Vendar, he didn't prepare to. Vendar, what would you like to do?
I have my musket out, so I guess I'll put that away. Is that the... Can I use my hasted action to put the musket away?
I mean, like, as long as you don't have to draw a different weapon, you can put it away for effectively free. It's an incidental. You get one incidental.
Oh yeah, but then I want to draw a Goonator.
Derek, you said there's a very specific list of things you can do with the hasted action.
Yep, and one of them is use an object action.
Okay. Sure, I guess.
Alright, I'll put the musket away and I'll pull the Goonator out.
Okay. You have the Goonator. Now what?
I'm gonna shoot the mushroom thing. The poison's still off, so I'm just gonna leave it off for now.
Okay. He's got his little iron boots are all frozen together. You shoot.
22 to hit.
That'll hit.
I use the sneak attack. That's not obvious.
Nope. You are using sneak attack. Alright. Damage.
So that's 34 lightning damage.
Okay. The lightning bolt strikes it in the chest, and it writhes in agony as you see, like, the boots start to glow with the heat of the electricity running through them, before he also explodes a fiery death, leaving behind only his hat and his shirt and those boots, which you see as the glow of heat in them dims out as they cool.
Good.
You have hasted... no, you don't. You used it. Okay. Moving?
I will go step on the other mushroom's corpse. This is to the northwest of Tatsuya.
Okay. Send it to the back. Range to the back. There we go. There is a rope hanging down from the hole in the ceiling.
Yeah, we can get out.
Anything else?
Nope, that's my turn.
Alright, Tatsuya!
Tatsuya. Must destroy the one that's right next to me.
Alrighty. Destroy it.
Okay. And he attacks and misses with a 12. So he's going to attack again. This time's better. You got a 22.
22 will hit.
Okay. Let's
So many dead creatures.
all the dead creatures. 8 and 8. And I need another 8. Because he's pissed.
Gosh. Are you smiting?
It's time to smite.
Do, 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 do,
He is
do,
using.
do, do, do.
Just make sure I got everything correct.
Tatsuya.
I gotta look at my actions. Okay, yes. We'll use a level 1 smite.
Level 1.
Okay. This went over pretty well.
A lot of
He
D8s.
did. No, but they are all, except for one, all of them are over average.
I mean, like, it's still 48.
It's 3d8s.
Yeah. Sorry. Thinking of a D8 weapon. But you're not using a D8 weapon.
Nope, I'm doing it using a 2d6 weapon.
Big weapon.
That'll be 15 points of magical bludgeoning damage
Very nice.
and 17 points of radiant damage.
Alright, so you just dealt 32 points of damage to a creature that has 31 HP.
You smush it real good.
Are you killing
Yeah.
it, or are you incapacitating it?
Oh, he's dead.
Oh, it's dead. Okay, yeah, you bring down the hammer and dispense some indiscriminate justice on this thing's face as your the holy light of Bahamut explodes into this thing's tiny body.
Okay. And then as far as Tatsuya can see, it's just like he can only see the two to the right, left. Like he doesn't see anybody, any other enemies currently.
This is everything you can see on the whole.
Okay, he is going to move up to them.
Very good.
Yes. And since he killed an enemy, he gets to attack again.
Alrighty. Which one? Do you want the upper or the lower? The lower got hit with an Eldritch Blast.
Then he'll go after the lower.
Okay. Echo.
I didn't use it last time. Do I want to use my Great Weapon Master with a chance to do an extra?
Possibly.
It's already
It's
already gotten hit. It's already gotten hit, and it already has damage on it, so he's gonna hope that he can maybe kill it without it.
Okay. Save it for later. Save this thing that has infinite uses for later.
yeah, I'll save it for later. I mean, I'm kind of glad I saved it because I don't even know. I'm hoping. I can't remember if this hits or not. It's a 15.
That hits exactly.
Alright.
Yeah.
Good
So
thing you didn't use it.
if I used it, he would have missed. The bug things go next.
Ow.
It has already been dealt damage, but he doesn't know how much HP it still has left. He is going to go with another smite, just in case.
Okay.
He doesn't know how much HP it has left.
It's already been hurt. It's got damage. I don't need to use Great Weapon Master. He is going to smite.
Okay. 13 points of magical bludgeoning damage.
13
And-
magical bludgeoning.
16 points of radiant.
Is this one going to be unconscious?
No, he's dead.
Okay. Do you want to know how much you went over by?
Sure.
16?
God damn it!
How much was the smite for?
16?
16. So, yeah, I wouldn't have even needed my improved Divine Smite. I would just needed the regular damage.
You killed it, and then you made sure that its corpse burned
It's
up
not
in a
even
holy way.
part of... Yeah, there's no part of its body left. It's just gone. And that's his turn.
Okay. Well, at the end of Tatsuya's turn, it becomes the bug thing's turn, so we'll have this one. I guess it will attempt to attack. Hello. What do you get again? He's immune to that. Alright, here you go. You have... Cool, you get to do that once. Grand. Gonna go well. I just know it. Okay. Alright. That is a 20 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay.
Exactly.
I know. Take 7 points of slashing damage. Non-magical.
Is this before?
No, I haven't reduced it, so 4 points after reduction.
Okay.
And then make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah. I mean, his con's not terrible.
Beef.
His roll was terrible.
Beef.
11.
Damn it.
That wasn't a beef.
That's still enough.
It's still enough.
Thank God for +6.
Alright, so you feel this coldness running through your body, and you manage to, say no.
Not today, Bug Satan.
The DM's so sad. He wants it to work at some point.
I do. I want it to work at some point. Leah. a bug appears out of the shadows. Well, you can't even see them, but you know, assume that there were shadows. I mean, there are shadows. You can't see. Pretend you can appreciate shadows. And a bug appears out of them. And goes to attack you. Scoring 14.
That miss.
He's gonna disappear so that he can't be splattered. Okay. He can't disappear because he appeared. Where'd I stick the other one? There it is.
Did he disappear if he's in bright light?
Oh. Fuck you, Sam.
I got you, Tatsuya.
Alright, this other one that looks
Yeah,
hurt
fuck it.
already is going to appear and attacks for a 13.
Also miss.
Yeah. Okay, so they do, nothing. So then my mushrooms go down, they're dead. So then it's Yukikaze's turn. Calling Yukikaze.
He's muted.
Yeah, I realized that after I made my comment and then no one responded. I can see all the way to Leah.
Yeah, she's in dim light, but still illuminated.
And everyone's over here, and Tatsuya could care a little less about. So I'm gonna mosey on over to Leah and attack the thingies that are attacking Leah.
Dragonborn anti-solidarity! Ooh, 30 to get to Leah. Is that good?
Yep, that's good. And I'm gonna squish some ugly little bug things.
You know, actually, you have 60 movement, so if you wanted to get into a position where you can attack both of them, you could.
It's a fair point.
Like, even just right here, you're able to attack both of them.
Yeah, right there's fine.
Yeah. So that's 35 out of 60. Alright, go ahead. Attack whichever one you want. This one's bloody. That one's not.
Commence murder.
I'm gonna go for the one that looks more alive because give Leah a chance to finish squishing him if Leah wants.
Trying to figure out why that one's listed at bloody, because it says that I have 3 left, and all of them are listed at full health. Why does it have a bloody marker on it? I have to remove that. It's not actually bloody, apparently.
Okay, because none of them got attacked, right? Because they came out.
Now, these all ran off, so yeah, all of these are at full health. It had a bloody marker. I trusted me to be right. I shouldn't have.
I'm attacking the one in front of me.
Okay.
24 to hit.
One is a 24 will hit.
That's 8 magical slashing. And this next one's gonna hit. It's a 30.
Repeat the damage.
8 magical slashing.
8 magical slashing. Okay, 30 will also hit.
And that will be 11 magical slashing.
Sure. 8, 11, 19. Alright. It is now bloody. Now I can put this on this guy.
Third hit with Silver Fang is 18 to hit.
It'll hit.
And it's 9 magical slashing.
9 magical slashing. It's still standing.
And with Key for my final attack is 27 to hit.
That hits.
And 12 magical piercing.
Alright, dead or unconscious?
It looks like a mindless bug thingy, right? I'm just gonna squish it.
Rude.
You know, it actually says that they're telepathic, but I didn't have much to say with them since I was mostly going on their frightening aura. Okay, you squash this thing. Apparently they're intelligent enough to talk.
Oh boy. Well, I haven't talked.
How much do you know about Feywild fauna?
No, he doesn't. I'm just... this isn't me telling him necessarily. This is me telling me.
I did do a lot of research
You really
about surviving, so I could know, possibly.
You could possibly know. Did you want to roll?
Screw it, why not? Because I did a lot of survival reading when I was,
Yeah.
before we came here. Watch me roll terrible.
I think you said you had, like, advantage or whatever if you were rolling for Feywild stuff. I think.
Well, would I get, like, survival or anything? Or
I think it's nature.
based?
Nature.
I don't have a bonus in nature, so... my first roll is a 19.
Alright.
You said advantage? See if I can get one more. No, 19's the best.
Okay. Still, that's pretty good. You do, remember coming across, you had been looking specifically at flora and fauna in the library books when you were at the university, so that you would know what you were dealing with in the Feywild. And you do, remember seeing an etching of this creature, in the book, or at least an insectoid creature that looks very similar. The notes around it noted that it was a creature that was created by negative feelings and fed upon them by emphasizing them, by, what's the word? Boosting them in the creatures around it.
Oh wow, it nurtures negative feelings and things around it. That's
Yeah, fears, worries, and concerns. Let me see here. You. They're spawned by fear. Yeah, it says, whenever fear overwhelms a creature in the Feywild or in any other location where the Feywild's influence is strong, one or more of these might spontaneously arise. You do remember that they are negatively impacted by bright light. They shun bright light in the sun. And you know that they can sense supernaturally areas of darkness, so they can teleport out of darkness into darkness, but they don't need to be able to see where they're teleporting to.
That's neat.
Yeah. You also know from your reading that these things have a paralyzing poison when they strike that will leave the victim incapacitated for a minute.
As I squish this thing, Yukikaze gets like a little, huh, that's right.
That's right, I know what these are! They suck! Okay, anything else for your turn? You still have a hasted action attack that you can make with the Silver Fang.
That's very true. Alrighty. Is there anything else I want to do other than this? Yeah, I think I'll just attack it. A 16 to hit.
Yep.
Oh, really low. And that will be 8 magical slashing. Let's see.
Anything right? Okay. Turn good?
Yeah.
Turn over?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah,
Okay.
turn over. Did everything.
Leah, these creatures appeared out of nowhere and swung at you, but you managed to avoid them nimbly. And then Yukikaze ran clear across the entire battlefield and hacked one to bits right in front of you before turning and smacking the other one. Oh, right. Before I forget, for like the 11 billionth time, Leah, at the start of your turn, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. If you're trying to talk, you're muted and I can't hear you.
I thought I was unmuting myself, but I was muting myself. I wasn't talking though, but thank you for letting me know.
Okay.
Wisdom saving throw.
Yes.
That's a 17.
17. Okay. You can feel these fears in the back of your mind creeping up and trying to overwhelm you, but you force them back down.
Okay. So there's just this one block left.
There's the one right next to you and the one next to Tatsuya.
Ah, okay, yeah, but next to me, I mean,
Yeah.
the X means dead.
Yeah, that
right?
one's dead. X means dead. All of the X things are dead things. They are X things. Like X parrots.
Okay, I think I'm gonna witch bolt them.
Okay.
I haven't used this in a while now, because I'm usually not within 30 feet, but this one is definitely within 30 feet, so...
Does that have an attack roll or a saving throw?
Let's see... Attack roll, I think. Let's see, make a range spell attack... Yeah.
So, you're at disadvantage because you're right next to it.
That's fine. It's annoying when something with that short of a reach have a disadvantage, but yeah. If it's an attack roll, it's an attack roll.
You could always move and then not be at disadvantage, but you risk it attacking you as an opportunity. That is your call to make.
I could. Because that one is dead, so it's not an obstacle.
Right?
Disengaging makes it so I can't use a full attack, right?
It makes, disengaging's an action, so you wouldn't be able to cast a spell.
Right, yeah. So,
Or you can
I'm
just roll
gonna-
at disadvantage because you've seen how easy these things are to hit.
That's also very true. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna roll with disadvantage.
Okay.
Just gonna try it. Okay. Okay, yeah. That's 20. 8 plus 12 is 20.
Man, that disadvantage, it really sucks. You hit.
Yeah, I mean, an 8 isn't necessarily a good roll, it's just I have a very high spell attack.
Yeah. And these things have very low AC.
Yeah. Okay, so this one's gonna be an owie for it.
Owie. I'm just using my dice. But it is crazy how small they are compared to these dispel dice.
I want to find... Right.
Em, are you still impressed at the size difference between the regular dice and the dispel dice?
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yeah, no,
use
I had to
all that frequently.
Okay. Leah, what was that? I'm sorry.
I thought it was me you were talking to. I just had to find fifth D12. I only had 4 out.
Oh, man. The struggle is real.
D12.
I think I actually only keep 2 of my D12s in this box. My other D12s are still in the bag.
Holy shit. Okay, yeah, this one is really gonna hurt.
Well, it's probably dead.
Yeah. Because let's see. Let's calculate this. Actually, it might be very easy to calculate when I come to think of it. I don't need a calculator for it. That's 53 points. Oh, is it electrical? Yeah, I think it's electrical. Is that a thing? Lightning. Lightning is what it's called. 53 points of lightning damage.
You are
Only 53.
1 point short of a massive damage auto kill. It went to negative 30 out of negative 31.
Yikes. That was 112 and 3 11s out of the... The last one was an 8.
Yeah. Alright, so,
I think that's the highest I've ever rolled.
yeah, you
A lot of these
literally...
things are just exploding.
you see, like, Leah's eyes glow with purple light as she brings her hands together, and as she separates them, lightning courses between her fingers, before she raises them slowly over her head, drawing the electrical arc wider and wider, before bringing them down to the sides, and it arcs out onto the creature, creating this chain between her hands and the creature, which you just see the thing vibrating because it's spasming so hard and so fast. This trill, this high-pitched shriek of "Ah!" And you just see smoke rising into the air after a moment, after seconds, before its golden chitin blackens and it turns to ash and crumbles to the ground in front of you. It is extremely dead.
Yeah.
Anything else, Leah?
Yeah, no, I think that's fine. I'm gonna like blow on my wand as blowing out the smoke from a gun.
A little arc of electricity like quicks off into the air and poofs as you do so. All right, Jebel. The crab has managed to just barely dodge both you and Cyrus as you attempted to pick it up, and began scuttling back into the forest whence it came. What do you wish to do?
I am going to call down the hole.
Okay.
How are things going down there?
We're good. Pretty much everything's dead.
Wait, what was that? What was that last one?
Pretty much everything's dead.
Oh, I thought you said wish everything was dead.
And he didn't sound concerned about pretty much everything's dead, so it probably doesn't mean what it could mean.
Yeah, a minor issue up here, so when y'all get back up, we can deal with it.
What would you like to do to begin dealing with the minor issue?
Let's see, I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay. You cast Cure Wounds on yourself. Then the spell slot, roll the dice.
6 is 12. Where am I? Let's see.
Alright, you heal yourself. Any
I healed
movement
myself.
or bonus actions?
Bonus action. No, I'm just going to. No, I'm going to leave it there.
Okay. Laramentis.
Okay.
The whole area was illuminated with crackling blue light that sparked and strobed amidst ashes, bright yellow. And you heard the horrifying sounds of a creature being disintegrated by electricity.
Been a while since I've heard that, I think. I'm gonna Ray of Frost the one next to Tatsuya.
Okay.
Screw this D20. That will miss. I got a 14.
You can almost feel this thing pointing and laughing at you.
Very distracted by the,
Execution.
lightning, I suppose. I'd say it was dark, but I mean, like...
Bright light. Anything else? There's this enticing rope to climb and a minor situation to investigate.
No, because I want to cast light on a rock before I start making my way up there, and I used my action to miss horribly.
That sounds
So, I'm gonna
obnoxiously
stay right
responsible. Alright, fine.
Somebody needs to be.
Alright, after Lair, the round goes back. We are at round 4. For those of you that activated things in round 1. Cyrus, you are bound up by this rope, which, as you struggle against it, you realize is made out of air.
Okay.
Not like horsehair, like a normal rope. This is humanoid hair.
Okay.
Oh wait, did I see that?
That he's bound up in a rope next to you? Yeah.
Oh, I completely forgot about that.
I know the situation. The crowd can screw off for all I care.
After you heal yourself.
Cyrus down and just heal yourself, not breaking eye contact.
I have a question. Is the hair oily or is it silky smooth?
I mean, it's a little column A and a little column B.
It's greasy, is what it is.
Yeah, I probably would have played that a bit differently if I'd remembered that.
I know,
detail.
I'm sorry, I just assumed this little weird tail coming off of him would have been a reminder enough.
And so you said it was either a acrobatics or athletics check to get out?
You have to break free, so yes, it's acrobatics or athletics, and the restrained condition just says that you're at disadvantage for dex saving throws.
But it's an
Oh, hold on, let me see. Target must succeed or become grappled, and the escape is the same DC. I guess it's just repeating the save? So it's still a dex saving throw?
That seems. I think the
That's
initial
usually
thing is setting the DC for the escape check.
Okay.
That would be my assumption, but I'm not reading the text.
It does say escape DCX, so that seems reasonable. So yes, athletics or acrobatics.
Alright. As I'm not particularly good at either of those, does this hair seem particularly strong? Or thick?
It does seem like if you wanted to try to destroy it, you could attempt to do so.
Burn it.
Well, I'm not
That smells terrible.
I'm not sure it would burn too well, but I have a sword in my hand. I can try and cut it with.
You
Like,
can try to cut it.
but then that would just be a.
I mean, I don't know if you've ever lit hair on fire, but it just disintegrates. In real life, I mean.
Yeah, this
And
is
it-
magic hair.
And it smells absolutely horrible.
It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
burning
you
magic
try,
hair
right?
smells good.
Burn it.
Alright, well, we'll do both. So, for starters, I'm going to try and break out with my action. And so, acrobatics, here I come.
Okay.
I rolled well. 19.
A 19 is high enough to escape.
Woot. Alright. Then I'll go over to Jebel.
Hmm?
Does the hair still seem like animate?
Yeah. I mean, as far as you can tell, it's no more or less alive looking than it was before. You've just escaped it, so it still has a little bit of, like, snake-like life in it.
Right, I want to move diagonally up and to the right,
Okay.
and let's say 15 feet in the air,
Sure.
and bonus action firebolt the thing.
Okay. Then the points to quicken the spell.
Alright, does a 22 hit?
A 22 does hit.
Cool. Please have it take 26 points of unresistible fire damage.
Alright, it is destroyed.
Alright, and points are spent. And I will call that good.
It is reduced to ash that curls into nothing, and the area smells horrible.
Well, I'd rather have a bad smell than something trying to, grapple me again. Anyways, that is my turn.
I like it when it tries to grapple you. Alright. At the end of your turn, it becomes the Fae's turn. Who is going to continue scuttling away. At this point, he's getting into underbrush and plant life that is making it so that you cannot maintain line of sight to him. Check this. And just because he is a spiteful motherfucker, another hair rope snakes out from underneath the wagon and goes for Jebel. Jebel, you must make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Oh, that's a 10.
Okay. You find yourself entangled by the hair.
Ah, what the hell?
Vendar!
Alright.
Are you there? You are.
First, I'm gonna go pick my dagger out of the skull of the one I killed by throwing at it.
Where the hell? Which one was that? There's so many dead ones.
It was one just to the left of Blair Mendes.
Left. Okay. Put you down there. You dig it out. Dig it out. Got your
Alright,
dagger.
then I'm gonna climb up the rope.
Okay. With all that movement, you're able to make it to the top. Boop. And you pop up next to Jebel, who is struggling in this rope that seems to be woven out of human hair. And it
I'll
seems
try
to be
to
like
cut him out of it.
trying to pull him under the wagon. Okay, make it attack.
It's 20 to hit.
20 will hit.
So I get sneak attack on that.
Ew. It has no discernible anatomy.
Alright.
There's an ally adjacent to it, though.
It's prone.
Alright, and it's 7 damage.
Okay, you hack at it, and you manage to cut some away, but not enough to free your friend. I'll mark that it has taken 7 damage.
I'll use my hasted action to do it again.
Okay, you do it again. I mean, I would check sneak attack as if it doesn't say it has to target a creature, then, but I think it does.
Yeah, to one creature you hit with an attack.
Yeah, and the hair rope.
This is like the gazebo.
It's like the book.
And it's a 27 to hit.
That'll hit.
And another 5 damage. Or 6 damage, sorry.
6 damage, so you're up to 13 total. Which means he's still trapped.
Dang, this thing's strong.
It's
I'm trying to cut at it with my dagger. It's not working.
the rope's actually pretty hard to kill. It's got really decent AC and impressively high HP. And it heals! It heals on its turn!
Well, I guess that's it.
For exactly.
13.
Oh my god, that's amazing. It heals at the start of each of the court's turns. So... that was Vendar. Tatsuya. One critter left down here. Tatsuya. Alex.
It's not muted. Oh, now he's muted. Now he's unmuted.
I can't hear him. He's killed his microphone somehow.
He broke his mic.
How did this happen?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
I don't know what was going on there. Yes, I wanted to ask if it had been hit at all.
If it had been the one in front of you, if it's hurt?
Yes.
Let me see.
An attempt was made.
No damage has been placed on this creature.
Okay. Tatsuya uses his great weapon master.
I just realized I can see all your HPs live in the encounter builder.
Oh, that's useful.
That
That's
is.
And he misses.
So
No.
it actually
Again.
imports the HP now?
It,
That's
it reports player HP now, so I can see that Tatsuya's really fucking hurt.
You have to track that manually. Like, at least you had to.
Are you at
Before.
89 right now, Cyrus?
Yeah, that's cool. I need to use that more now.
I'm gonna take a point of damage, and then you tell me what the number.
Okay.
I take a couple points of damage.
All right, go
and you
for
tell
it.
me if my number has changed.
Okay. It hasn't changed yet. It's just been sitting at the number it's at. Yeah, it still just says 66.
Damn.
I don't know how quickly it updates.
Well, does it update, or does it just happen to have imported it from the refresh?
What does it say mine is?
Devil says 89.
Yeah. No, because remember, I healed myself.
Right. Okay, I guess
So I
it's
guess
not
it's just
live. I guess it's since, I don't know, what happens if I refresh the page? I feel like bad things will happen when I refresh the page. Yep, bad things happen when I refresh the page. No, wait. Yeah, everything's still dead. That's good. Oh, except for that one. That one's still listed at 3. I don't know when this refreshed to. Armando still says 66. Jebel says 101 now.
I did go and heal back up to
Okay.
66. So.
Oh, yeah, Jebel now says 101, so I guess I have to refresh it?
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's meant to keep a live update. I think it's just to import it so that you don't have to put in all those numbers yourself like you used to.
Yeah. I always just left them blank. Like, others
Same.
can manage
I
that
ignored
shit.
it. It's like, it's not worth it if I have to fill all that in and then track it myself.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't even been using this to keep track of the round. I keep track of the round over here. I just use it to keep track of the HP and the order. Okay, sorry, I interrupted what Tatsuya was doing. He missed with his first attack.
My first attack.
Yep, I remember that.
And then I got a 17.
The 17 will hit.
Did you
So,
continue using Great Weapon Master?
yes.
Nice.
Alright, so this thing probably dies.
Hopefully.
You gonna smite it too?
Just my improved divine smite. Or my improved smite.
Alright. So I know that your minimum damage right now is 13.
Well, actually, my minimum damage with the plus 10 is like 16.
Is it plus 3?
It's
For strength?
2d6 plus 4.
Plus 4. Okay, so it's 17 is your minimum damage. Or yeah,
16.
17.
Well, 17, yeah, counting the smite. Yeah. It is 2, 4. 16 points.
Alrighty. So
regular damage plus 8 radiant.
Minimized.
I didn't minimize. I was close to minimizing.
16.
I maxed out the radiant.
16 would be minimum. Yeah, but I mean, and the regular damage. 16 would be minimum.
2, 4.
Did you forget the 10?
No, I added the 10. I got 2 2s and a 4. Or 2 2s.
Yeah.
Or I got 2 2s, so that
That's
2 plus
8.
2 is 4. Okay, sorry. 8. Sorry.
So 18.
18.
Not 16. Yeah.
18, and then
Alright,
8.
so that takes an additional 2 damage. There we go.
Sorry, that was just very funny to me. Tatsuya has a 2-2.
Okay. It's very, very bloody, but it's still there.
Well, he didn't kill anything, and he didn't crit it, so he doesn't get his bonus attack.
Go to hang your head in shame and climb the rope.
Or I'm climb the rope.
I'm kidding. You can do whatever you want. I was just teasing you.
I mean, he did hit it, which he could use his crusher feat.
Okay.
Which allows him to move it 5 feet. Since it's his size.
Remind me, does Great Weapon Master, is that the one that lets you re-roll 1s and 2s, or is that something else?
That's the fighting style.
That's the fighting style.
Great Weapon fighting.
Yeah.
They both have the words Great Weapon in there.
Yeah.
Alright, so Crusher, what are you gonna do?
He's going to move it 5 feet to an unoccupied space. So he's I guess he's gonna move it down diagonally to the right, or yeah.
All right, you bash
Shoot.
away. It skids backward in the soft ground. Now what shall you do?
He's going to move back to being below Laramentis.
Okay. Anything else, or are you done?
Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm done because any bonus action spells don't really do anything. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. It becomes the bug thing's turn. It's going to back up out of the bright light and then teleport. And it's going to attack Leah, who is not wearing big, shiny, obnoxious armor. Scoring... what?
Just fried his friends.
I mean, they're big bugs. They don't look terribly intelligent.
Fair.
That's a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits, and it's gonna get a what's it called again?
Hellish Rebuke.
Hellish Rebuke, yeah.
I mean, he might. You have to first take the 7 points of damage and then roll against the paralysis.
That's true.
Which I think can stop the Hellish Rebuke if you're paralyzed.
Yeah. It absolutely will. What kind of roll was that?
So it is 7 points of damage, and then it's a Constitution saving throw.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
a poison effect, isn't it?
Let me check. Cause I don't know, offhand.
Because if it is, I'm immune, so then it doesn't matter.
It does not call it a poison effect.
Okay.
It does not say if the thing is immune to poison, then it doesn't have to make the saving throw. It doesn't say it's poison. It just says, clause, if they hit, it must succeed on a con saving throw or be paralyzed. That's all it says.
Okay. It doesn't... Okay.
Oh, right. They don't actually speak with their telepathy. They have weird telepathy that lets them put hallucinations into people's minds.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. These hallucinations take the
Okay.
form of terrible whispers or fleeting movements just at the edges of the peripheral vision. Probably should have reread and reminded myself of that. I don't know. I guess I just went feared light
Yeah,
on it.
I don't have... Yeah, okay, well then, fine. I'm just gonna have to...
What happened?
I do not have a disadvantage on saves, right? It's only...
No, you
What do I?
gained 3 levels of exhaustion for that.
Okay. So I am... yeah, I mean, I got an 11, so I'm probably paralyzed.
Actually, 11 is just high enough to succeed. 11
Ah.
is the DC.
Fantastic.
You may hellish rebuke.
Woo.
Both you and your uncle rolling 11 on a DC 11. This shit really does run in the Tatsuya family line. The Tatsuya. The Lumos family line, excuse me.
That is an insult. Yeah, Hellish Rebuke. It's momentarily surrounded by Hellish Flames. The
Or
creature must
Tatsuya.
make a dexterity. It's a dexterity save.
Okay, it's gonna probably do, well, pretty well.
Like
Let's see.
uncle, like niece.
Dexterity saving throw is a 21.
Yeah, that succeeds, I think.
What, half?
Yes, exactly. Almost exactly like one above.
Oh, okay.
But it's the half damage then.
Half damage. Okay, so it's probably
Yeah.
still gonna die. It succeeded, only to die anyway. How much damage?
I just had to get enough dice.
A lot of dice.
Let's see. Okay, let's see. Is there any pluses? Yeah, +2. So 34. So half of 34.
It's extremely dead. 17 points against its 5
Yeah.
HP.
Oh.
You should make a
Burst up in
concentration
flames.
check.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, about You're right.
Fly.
The fly, yeah.
You lose it and Cyrus falls.
That would be very funny.
Lose it,
but
lose it,
that's-
lose it, lose it, lose it.
Doesn't matter. She cast Witch Bolt.
Oh, yeah, that's a concentration spell.
Shit! You're right. Yeah, that break. That
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
the fly is
Yeah.
already broken. It broke last turn.
I had this in mind, and I packed a parachute. I cast Featherfall.
Alright.
Because I don't want to risk a concentration check and make the other two lose haste.
Alright, fine, fine. You Featherfall. Spend your spell slot.
Yeah.
You're not flying anymore. Give me that fly. No fly for you.
Yeah,
No
Leah was on the
fly.
ground already, so I forgot that would break fly, so did Leah.
Uh,
She just used it, and then I guess
I
you
mean,
will come to
hey,
the
at
realization
least
when
it was
you do.
really, really cool.
So, have you guys ever used one of those bug steppers?
Like the
No.
fly swatter with the button on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if you hold that after you use the bug, after you fry the bug with it, you recognize that kind of smell that makes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I imagine this will be kind of like that.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole room smells like, that ionization.
Yeah. So first I fried the bug, and then I burned the bug. So it's not pleasant in there.
No, it really sucks, and it's really close quarters, and there's just like the one air hole. And there's just a whole lot of dead things in here now. It's really rank in here. Okay, so, that was the end of the bug things. The mushrooms are dead. Yukikaze.
Okay.
The bug hit her, and she blew it up with fire.
And I don't see anything else alive.
Other than your companions.
Do you still have Hellish Rebuke from your pact?
Yeah, that's one of the things that actually didn't disappear.
Weird. Okay. Tatsuya, sorry, Yukikaze, sorry.
No.
Got it the second time.
So, recalling my knowledge, these things can keep spawning if whoever fears it is still fearful.
It's possible, yeah. If it's whenever somebody becomes overwhelmed by their fear, a group of these things can spawn.
Alright. So I will move toward the exit,
Okay.
and as I'm moving, I will communicate that to Leah. and I am going to communicate to the group as I pass the guys. Guys, I happen to remember when I was looking for information about the Feywild, that these things spawn based on fear, so they'll keep coming if something is still fearful down here. We should probably go.
I would
Uh,
certainly like to spend as little time down here as possible.
So I will stand at the entrance and try to like look like I'm like, all right, guys, let's go. Kind of face emotions and wait at the bottom until people start heading up.
So you're just not climbing the rope. You're just standing next to the rope.
Yeah, because I kind of want to help like guard it, get people out of here.
Okay, then I'll put you there instead. Alright then. You guys say, Leah, it is now your turn. These things are all dead, so you don't have to roll against fear. What do you do?
I am heading towards the rope.
Okay. As you move toward the rope, you do notice that a lot of the anxieties and worries that were plaguing you throughout your time here are fading back into the background where you usually keep them. 30 feet will get you exactly to the rope.
No, I can only get 15
Right,
feet.
15
I don't
feet.
fly anymore and have half speed.
Yes, yes. Do you
But I
want
can
to
double move. Yeah, I will double move, so I get to 30.
Okay. I can have you wait next.
I'm gonna stop right. Yeah, I'm gonna stop right before the rope,
Okay.
so other
That
people
seems
can.
reasonable to me. Okay. Then after Leah, it is Jebel. Jebel, you are tied up by this hair rope that's really nasty and writhy, and Bendar's hacking at it, but it just won't let go.
I had hoped you were going to say that he was in a hairy situation.
You're in a hairy situation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm grappled, am I?
You're grappled and restrained.
Oh.
And you can put both of those on your conditions thing to see what they do.
Okay. And restrained. So, what do we do to try and get out?
You can make an athletics or acrobatics check. Or you can try to break the rope by attacking it.
Do I have disadvantage on attacking?
You have
Yes.
disadvantage on attacks while you are restrained.
I'm going to... I'm going to try and... Can I... I can see where it's... The hair is coming from over here.
It
To the
seems to be
right?
coming from under the wagon.
Okay. Well, then I am going to try to cast a spell and aim it in that direction.
Okay. You're still at disadvantage.
Yeah.
And you can't make the rope make saving throws.
So that is 5 plus 11 is 16.
16 will miss.
Son of a bitch.
I don't know what spell you cast, but it pings into the soft ground and gets swallowed up
Yeah.
next to the hairy rope.
Produce flame.
Ah, yes, you throw your fire onto the ground, and some of the plants get a little singed, but they're alive, so they don't catch. And the fire goes out. Anything else?
I'm not taking damage, am I?
Nope. You just can't move.
And Vendar is next to me, and Cyrus is next to me. I'll just say,
You saw Cyrus fall out of the air, and he casts the spell, and you see a burst of avian feathers around him that seems to cushion his 15-foot drop to the ground.
I just go like, what has this got to do with anything?
A gift for a friend, I imagine. You said he wanted to capture us, right?
Oh, that jackass. And I'll turn to Vendar and just say that we were attacked by a guy.
What kind of guy?
Gnomish? Ish, I
Ish.
suppose.
No mishish, alright.
And I shrug as best I can and go, Feywild.
That's gonna be the excuse for the rest of the campaign. Yeah, Feywild. Why is that happening, Feywild?
It's like, we haven't been in the Feywild for months.
Feywild. I need to go remake that aliens meme.
Wild. Oh yeah.
So, that's it for your turn?
Yeah.
Alright, there. Everything appears to be dead. It's really starting to reek in here as several of the corpses have been charred and burned, and are the ones that weren't are just bleeding on everything, and the ichor is just oozing around, soaking into the soft earth.
I cast light on the corpse to my west.
Okay. There is now...
It is now an object, since it is a corpse.
You'll do. You notice that this particular corpse, as it begins glowing, highlights this thin, leaking cut in its head, about the size and shape of the blade of a dagger, that had been plunged in.
Oh yeah, that was that one. And I'm going to go and retrieve the rope box.
Alright, it's still connected to you, because it's still tied around your waist?
Yeah, but I don't want to.
Oh no,
it, like,
it's not, because
drag
you
kind of-
teleported out of it.
Oh yeah.
So there's just like a wind of rope under Leah, and then the rope box is like under Yukikaze.
Yeah, so I go to the Yukikaze and retrieve the rope box.
Okay, you do so. There. Alright, so that's 5. You have 25 more.
I will want to stow it before I start climbing, so I'm not gonna climb.
Okay, I mean, it's an incidental, and I guess another incidental to stow. Sure.
Yeah, which makes it an action.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, you do not begin climbing. I like everybody standing around the rope waiting for other people to climb. There we go to the top of the next initiative. Did I skip something? Oh no, he's way up there. I didn't. We're good. We're good. Round 5. Done. Cyrus, you can still kind of just barely hear the rustle and click of the crab, like, moving through the underbrush away to the northwest. But all sound from the hole seems to have died away.
And it sounded like Joel's not able to deal with his rope.
He is, you saw him, get fire in his hand, and then hup it toward the wagon, and you see it, like, hits the ground, next to one of the wagon wheels and fizzles out. You kind of get a sense that, like, a coil of the rope is over that way, but he still seems trapped. Yeah.
Alright, then I'll tell Vendar, go see if you can catch that crab. It went that way. And I'll point. And then
Crab?
looking at Jebel, what were you aiming at?
What crab?
Are you answering him first, or
I want to hear your response first.
I was just trying to burn the end of it, or middle.
Do I have enough talking time left to respond to Vindar, or am I out?
You can go for it. Oh. There's nothing threatening you right now. I don't care.
The one he polymorphed, I'll say, as I throw a firebolt at the rope. Does a 30 hit?
So close. Yeah, 30 hits.
With an annoyingly low amount of damage.
Oh man, how much?
Alright, let's see. 3, 3, 2, 6, 8, 11, 12, 14.
Well, considering it had 7 HP left, I'm gonna go ahead and say, oh yeah, it's destroyed.
Well, I rolled low, but the modifier's not particularly bad.
You're free as he casts this firebolt into the rope laying on the ground nearby you, and the whole thing flames away to ash. There is an acrid smell wafting through the air now.
And that's my turn.
There we go. Okay, after you, it becomes him. Going to continue scuttling away. There's no more rope for him to mess with, so that's out. Vendar, your turn. Are you going to go after this polymorphed crab you've been told about?
I guess.
Okay. What's your passive perception again?
Stupid high. I think it's 21.
Okay. You begin heading in the direction that he indicates, and then you begin listening as you go.
I'm sorry. I was way off. It's 27.
There you go. Alright, so... as you get to about here, with 10 feet left of movement, you finally pick up the sound of tiny exoskeletal legs moving through the underbrush as of, you know, a slightly large, hard bug crawling over leaves and plants.
So how far am I away from it?
10 feet. You've got 10 feet of movement left.
Alright, I'll go ahead and try to pick it up.
Alright. Move in. You spot it. You go reach for it. You must make an athletics check.
Oh, 11.
Well, I haven't rolled double digits at all on this check, and he's got no modifier for it, so he gets a 5. And so, finally, this dumbass crab has been captured. You have it in your hand.
Alright, and then I'll use my bonus action to dash back.
Boop. Boop. And what are you going to do with your hasted action? Attack it?
I asked Cyrus what he wanted me to do with it.
Just make sure it doesn't get away until everyone's up here. Not sure if we want to talk to what that thing was, or just let it scuttle off for an hour while we leave.
I'll shrug and throw it in a sack.
So it's now in a bag of holding.
No, just a sack. I have several empty sacks. I'm just gonna put it into an empty sack.
Oh. Alright then. The better for looting, my dear. Tatsuya.
Yes.
Your turn. Everybody seems to be standing around worshipping this rope.
The almighty rope. I guess Tatsuya will go and join them in the worship of the rope.
Oh, you're not going to start climbing the rope?
If
is this
he
the rope
stops
that
right
was
next to me, Laramitis is going to say we should start moving up the rope.
Okay, then Tatsuya will start climbing the rope.
Okay, so you climb at half speed, which means you get 10 feet up the rope. What's your strength score?
His strength score is 18.
Okay, I'm not even gonna bother with a check for you. You shimmy your ass up this rope, you soldier, you Adonis of men.
Not even as strong
You
as Raiken.
Herculean lizard. Okay, Yukikaze. Tatsuya has begun shimmying up the rope. Other people have not. Are you going to continue to wait for them to do it?
Laramendis and Leah, I will go up last. Go ahead and go before me.
Okay. Leah, you're
And I will just ready to react to anything if anything comes out while we're doing this.
What is this rope made of?
hemp, I think.
No, that was in character.
Oh.
Hemp, I think.
I guess.
That feels just like rope.
Oh, then I misunderstood. I thought that this was the hair.
Oh, yeah, no. This is not the hair rope.
That's why Tatsuya did initially climbing. I'm like, this is the hair.
Climb this rope? Okay, it wraps around you and pulls you up. Well, I guess this is good.
Okay, so this is just a rope. Okay, in that
This
case,
seems to be just a rope, yes. A normal adventuring rope. I don't know. Jebel, what do you make your rope out of?
My homemade rope, made out of my hair.
There you go. It's made of pubes.
Oh god.
Okay. Just gonna look at the boys down here, and Tatsuya on his way up. Like, you guys first.
I insist after you. Alright, then. Where?
Everyone's gonna yeah. I was expecting someone to respond to that, but
Oh.
okay.
Does anybody want to respond to that? I apologize.
Very well.
Lara's turn, then.
So he's Tatsuya is now like halfway into the tunnel.
Yeah, he's 10 feet up the rope, so he's like, yeah, he's getting up into the tunnel now.
Okay, considering I
climb
think I'm gonna
past.
have, well, I think I'm gonna have a lot of difficulty climbing the thing. So by the time I get to him,
Yeah,
I feel like he'll be far enough up.
you could be.
So I'm gonna start trying to climb.
Okay,
Well, I'm gonna stow the box,
you did that.
and then I'm going to.
Oh no, yeah, you didn't do that, I guess. You did do that. You didn't do that. I don't know.
I had not done that. I have now done it.
Okay.
Athletics check.
Yes, correct.
That's a 5.
That is lower than the DC.
Yeah.
You place your hands on the rope. You know it's waggling back and forth as Tatsuya climbs it. You kind of look up and like a bit of dirt falls in your eye. You go, ah! All right, let's do this. You like put a hand up and you hop, and then you just slide down onto your butt.
I'm holding it steady for you.
Uh-huh.
And then, do I have enough movement to stand?
5, 15. You have exactly enough movement to stand.
Okay, I stand.
Leah
And hold the rope
just
steady.
Leah's just holding one hand on her hip and give you a very
Laramentis is not making eye
sassy look.
contact. He's just looking anywhere but the two of you.
Interesting dirt in the walls here.
It's quite the rustic architecture.
Yes. Okay. God damn. Top of the initiative again. Are you guys going to do anything or stand around Cyrus?
Stand around, I guess.
Okay.
And I'll. I know it was Vindar. Who was the other one I pasted?
Yukikaze.
I'll warn Hikaze that and Vindar. Well, I'll shout to Hikaze, but just tell Vindar. Careful, the spill will run out soon.
Okay. Fucking crab. Where are you, crab? There you are. Claw. Go. All right.
That's why out of the sack.
It got an 18, which would normally hit Vendar. Does an 18 hit you with your haste on?
An 18 would not normally hit me. So
Oh,
no.
I thought you had 18 normally.
I have 19 normally.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, because 14 from studded leather. And then plus 5 from dex.
A lot of decks. Okay, well, it tries to pinchel you, and, it just can't seem to hurt you through your gloves. What do you do as it is clearly, like, writhing in your hand and trying to hurt you?
And I put it in a sack.
Yeah. You see the spikes of the ends of its legs and its pinchers coming through the sack and reaching at you. It's your turn. What do you do? And nothing?
Is there some way I can prevent it from moving its claws? Is there like a...
It's just like...
Can
It's
I
like
get
a
rubber
burlap
bands?
sack, and it's just like poking its tiny claws through the weave of the burlap at you. It's adorably ineffective, if you're asking me, but it's certainly trying.
I'll just kind of hold the sack away from me. So
Okay.
And then I guess I'll go and... So I'm gonna go inside.
You're going to go inside. What is inside?
Into the cottage.
Okay.
Into the moving house.
Alright. You climb up the back ramp. You find that the room here still has, like, all the cousins talking to Pa. In the back. You've only been out there like 36 seconds. So they just seem to be chatting and wondering about, what's out there, and so they all turn when the door opens, and Pa just says, "So did you take care of it?"
Yeah, we killed everything in the hole. They're still trying to climb out of it.
What's with the bag?
Apparently some guy attacked Jebel while he was up here, and everybody else down the hall, and he turned it into a crab, so now it's in the sack.
What kind of guy?
He said it was gnomish.
What do you want?
They didn't tell me.
Maybe you take care of that out there. Oh.
I just
only-
wanted to, like...
You only
find
have
some
10
place
feet of
to
movement
stick.
left anyway, so you're actually just
Yeah.
outside the...
If there's a place like outside that I can sit, like maybe where
I mean, you can sit
he
down anywhere. It's just a
rides it.
forest.
I'd rather sit on the cart. I guess I'll just
Like,
sit
as
down.
you open the door and he asks you these questions, he very clearly wants nothing to do with whatever you're fighting, and he will not be happy if you bring it to his home. You
Yeah,
get
just sit on the
that
ground.
sense.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this crab.
He just spreads his hands in front of him like, well, don't ask me! Like, his eyes are just telling you, get it away! Alright, Tots. More climbies.
Continue climbing.
You're a climby. You're a climbing fool. You go up another 15 feet. Beep, beep, beep. You're climbing up this tunnel. Get out of here.
Climbing real good.
Climbing real good. Real good. Alright, Yuki. Leah has refused to go up ahead of you, and Lair has failed to go up ahead of you.
Armendus is psyching himself up to be able to do it, though. He's holding onto this rope real good this time. He thinks he's got a
They're
good grip.
clearly struggling with this. Would you like to aid them? Or, like, would you like to aid Lair, since he's the one on the rope?
Well, real quick, I'd say, Leo, why do you want to go up last?
It's just customary to not go behind. I don't want you looking up my skirt, okay?
Oh, I'm not going to follow directly behind you then. I'll let you get all the way up before I start going then. Let me help Lair Mendes real quick and then you can go up.
I thought that Yukikaze just picks up Laramendus and yeets him into the hole.
I mean, he could do the ceiling is 10 feet high, and
He's 7.5 feet tall. Yukikaze's 7.5 feet tall.
Do I need to roll anything?
No. When you use aid, they just get advantage.
Okay.
Leah, what are you going to do? Continue waiting?
Me? Yeah.
No, Leah. You're not Leah.
Me. If Larmendus gets help to go up, then yeah.
Okay, so you'll
you-
wait for
she-
Laramendus?
I could try helping him as well, but
Already got
mechanical-
the advantage.
yeah, mechanically it doesn't do anything.
No, it
but
doesn't. But I mean, sure, like, flavorful, you're also doing whatever you can to get him up there.
Yeah.
Jebel, Vendar is clearly confused about what to do with this thing, and you hear the voices coming from the wagon house saying, like, we don't want anything to do with it.
I will just say, like, just don't damage him. We'll sort with it. We'll deal with him later.
Alright. Now, Laramendus, you may make an athletics check at advantage.
Oh, everything is coming up Larmendus. That is a 10.
With advantage? Lair Mendes.
Imagine having to roll a new character because the old one just couldn't climb out of the pit.
Stuck in the. You can always dimension door out.
I mean,
I'm very close to it.
Like,
I'm sure the
this is
Dragonborn
just too
can-
much for me.
the dragon pull him up as like from the rope as soon as they get to the top.
You could just tie the rope around themselves, I suppose. Lair, you,
Just hold on to Yukikaze's shoulders and he'll climb you
you
up.
guys just see his, like, arms shaking violently with the effort of trying to lift himself. Like, he's not getting his feet off the ground.
rolled a 4 and an 11.
Right, so now it's round 7. I have to keep us in initiative because of the haste.
Well, if Yukikase would get up here, I could end it, but I don't want to drop it until I know where he's at.
Alright, Cyrus. What do you want to... Where are you? Oh, you're there.
Gonna shout down the hole, what's taking so long?
I'm old.
No, you're not.
You're an elf!
Doesn't mean he's not old.
I like the idea that Yukikaze is shouting at him as though down a hole, but he's only right next to him. Alright, you continue to see pincers poking through the sack. You actually notice that the legs are retracting inside and then poking back out, and it seems to be climbing the inside of the sack, trying to get up to where you're punching the top shut.
I don't like this thing.
It scores a 19 to try and poke at your fingers through the canvas.
And still misses. I'll try to like shake the sack to make it go back down.
Has to crit hit you. You wobble the sack. You do see the daggers of these legs poking around, but it seems to be maintaining its spot. Vendar, that was your turn, I suppose. Tatsuya. You climb another 15 feet. And you are breathing fresher air again.
It's good to breathe in the outside air again. Even if it's fey air.
You see your friends standing around the hole. Vendar is holding a sack, and you can see the little protrusions, spikes from inside poking through it, and then retracting and poking out again.
Looks like you got something in your bag there.
Yeah, whatever attacked them, he turned into a crab. Now it's in a sack.
I guess that's one way to deal with it currently. Well, the others are climbing on up.
As far as you
It's
know.
taken them long enough.
I feel like he could kind of feel people climbing up under it.
Yeah,
You could feel that the rope was moving, yeah?
The rope was definitely moving beneath you.
There's tension on it and everything.
Yep, all that is happening. Those are dead. Yuki, you're gonna aid Blair again.
Yes.
Leah, you're going to aid Blair again?
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you elven accuracy on this, man. You're gonna roll 3d20s.
Okay.
Double advantage.
I don't want to say.
He gives it the old Arcane University try. He even gives a little jump this time, and you can hear the rope burn as he slides down this thing again.
You know what? I think I'm going to Dimension Door up. So, I'm going to stay here with whoever the last person's going to be, and we're just going to go up together. How's that sound?
Well,
And then I'm going to take a nap.
Wait, last person? Well, then I guess I can go up and Leah could go with you then.
Excellent. Be my guest. So I rolled a 4, a 6, and a 10. So I got less than I got last time.
Oh,
Beautiful, beautiful man.
Wow.
This is not Lara Mendez's forte.
At least it has been shown.
That's what you get for skipping gym class, Larry Mendes.
But there are so many better things to do with one's time.
Okay, round 8.
Gym class at the university.
Round 8, the thing again tries to attack you. It completely fails to hit you at all. Just poking randomly through the bag. You doing anything in response, Vendar? It's mostly just an annoyance that you even have to hold this thing.
I'll try to push its feet back into the bag.
Okay, so every time one pokes out, you just kind of push it back in. Another one pokes out in a different place, you push it back in. It's kind of a little game you're playing there. Tatsuya is up here. Is there anything you want to do while you're up here?
I'll just wait for everybody else.
He's still got that bag that he's playing with. Yukikaze.
I guess Tatsuya can try to pull on the rope.
Okay.
Help people get up faster.
Sure. Yukikaze, what's your strength score?
You want to know my actual strength?
Yeah, your strength score, the total.
20.
Okay. Yeah, and you're hasted, so you climb at double speed. Double normal, so you actually make it 30 feet up the rope, so you immediately go to, there. Yeah, if you're gonna try and pull him, he's pretty heavy, so why don't you make me an athletics check there, Tots?
What am I doing?
Making an athletics check to pull on the rope to see if you can hoist him up you faster.
Okay. 18.
18. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Alright. You hoist and between him climbing and you pulling on the rope, he makes it to the top now.
Yukikaze's at the top?
Alright.
Yukikaze's at the top.
Alright, I ditch my concentration.
Okay.
I'm gonna warn them.
And
So-
I'll just say, as I get up there, just Larry Mendes is going to dimension door up with Leah.
Yeah. So you drop that, which means that they immediately have their, stunned round. The guy who's holding the crab loses, muscle control as he becomes exhausted, and his arms fall to his sides.
I thought it was still in the bag. Had you taken it out and I missed that?
No, it's still in the bag, but I mean, he
Okay.
could still drop the bag onto a rock and deal the 1 point of damage that the thing can take.
Well, I thought the bag was like on a belt or something. I didn't realize it was the thing he was holding.
As soon as I tried pinching him through it, he held the bag out away from himself, so he's been holding it up off
Okay,
the ground.
Then I'll keep concentration until he can set it down or hand it to someone.
I mean, you seem aware of this. It feels like your character is unaware too.
It's just because I can't see what he's doing. Like, there is no visual representation of where the bag is.
I mean, I've been describing him playing with it for 3 rounds here.
Well, I've been hearing about it pinching at him, but that doesn't tell me it's in his hands. It just tells me it's on his person.
When I said that it was trying to climb up to where he was holding the top of the bag shut with his hand?
I didn't hear with his hand. I just heard where he was holding the top of the bag shut. I was assuming like with a rope or something, because it's a bag.
Uh-huh. So what you're telling me is you don't want me to make him roll a save to not drop this thing in a way that ends the transformation.
That would be my preference, yes.
Okay. Fine. You maintain concentration on the spell. You may teleport out, Laramendus.
Alrighty, Leo.
I guess you're stuck down in the hole forever, Laramendus.
Leah never wants to leave.
Oh, I didn't hear what I said.
You said ready?
I asked if you were ready.
Ah, okay. Yeah, as I said earlier, my internet is kind of bad, so I only heard that.
Yeah. I use the 5th level spell slot and Dimension Door up.
Alright, where would you like to end up? Whee!
Next to the wagon, I suppose.
Well, that's vague. I'm gonna put you over here.
Sure.
You are out of sight of your friends. You are next to the wagon.
I go to the rear of the wagon.
Laramendus, Leah, are you coming up still?
We're here.
What
Laramendus
the hell?
looks like sweat glistening, red face, heavy breathing.
Like,
He does not look good.
You're probably like blowing on the palms of your hands because they're injured by the rope.
Burn, yeah. Shaking his hands a lot.
Alright, I am removing us from combat. Now that everyone's up top. You know what'll happen if he drops that bag, so what do you want to do about it, Cyrus? You know that your spell has to end.
I'll go over there and say, would you let me hold that for a second?
Sure.
Once I'm holding it, then I drop concentration.
Okay. For about 6 seconds, Vendar and Yukikaze, you are both completely overwhelmed with exhaustion and find that all of your muscles give out, your knees buckle beneath you, and you fall to the ground, needing to take a moment to breathe and relax before it finally washes away and you're able to stand back up and resume as though nothing happened.
Okie dokie.
And it's 10:31, and a big discussion's about to happen, so I guess I should stop it here.
May I make one request first?
We'll let you make the request. I will hear the request. What do you want?
It's to Laramendus. Well, actually, this is just to Sam. Have you mentioned that you know Demiplane to the party at all?
I believe so.
Alright. Yeah, no, it'll probably still spiral into a conversation.
Yeah, that's conversation.
Alright then. Let me award XP, and then we'll conclude. Because that was a battle.
Indeed.
Alright, this thing. Ba-ba-ba. Okay. Everyone, please receive 1,260 experience points.
And
1,260.
I'm so close.
Yeah, I still got another, just under 7,000.
I need 4,538.
Alright, well that was an interesting fight. And we shall resume with this crab next week. Have a good night.
Alright.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye, stream.